Get your knife and fork ready to dig into a plate full of profits on the DFY Restaurant Revolution podcast with your host, recovering restaurant owner, Michael Tebow.
Hey, thanks so much for stopping by, for checking out this edition of the DFY Restaurant Revolution video cast. And I'm doing this video because I had a discussion with one of my platinum clients, and it's a great question that comes up quite a bit on how do you deal with an employee that has a chronic problem with, let's say, not showing up to work on time, right? And it's the restaurant industry, and I get it, right? Sometimes people work late and they go out afterwards, and they're consistently showing up late, which isn't good because it looks bad to your other staff as well. Like, they can get away with that. What else can I get away with? But the struggle that ensues is, how do you deal with that as a owner, a restaurant manager, a head server, whatever the position of authority is that has to enforce those rules that are your system for managing your staff? So I wanted to do this short video to kind of give you an example of how I handled it and how I've developed a system and how I learned how to handle it for some really smart people in the hospitality industry. So you're consistent, you're fair, empathetic, and most importantly, you get results. So I'm going to do a little role playing and a little example that maybe you can show your managers, or if you have to deal with it as an owner or whoever's that authority figure that's in charge of your staff, to make sure that they're consistently adhering to the systems and rules that you've implemented as the owner in your restaurant. So I hope this helps. So the setting is, let's just say we have a server, Chris, and they're continuously showing up 15 minutes late for their shift. Okay, so you might have a leeway in your employee handbook of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is, that's irrelevant. But there's some key things that you have to realize that I'll go over after I do the little role playing with the video that'll show you exactly how to handle this in a short, concise moment where really it cuts down on the interaction. It gets really to the heart of the matter with solutions. But it's all part of a system to help you manage your staff. So we're going to call Chris into the office and confront them about their tardiness to work. Okay, so I'll pick it up and I'm going to play the restaurant owner that's talking to Chris in the office. Make sure you do it in an office in a one-on-one setting, because that way you get some privacy, no one's bothering you, and they also know that establishes the seriousness of the discussion if it's in the office, right? They're probably going to be a little nervous, so you need to address that, because anytime an authoritative figure wants to meet with somebody one-on-one in the office, a subordinate, they're going to wonder, and am I getting canned? What's going to happen here? So let me do the role play. Hey, Chris, thanks so much for coming in today. I very much appreciate it. I appreciate how hard you work for our company in general and representatives. But what I wanted to talk to you about is I've noticed that you've had some issues showing up to your shifts on time. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, great. Yeah, it's become a problem, and I wanted to point out something. I know you've been with us for 6 months now, and when you were first hired on, you had a copy of your employee handbook, right? You gave a copy, we've had a copy, and you signed it. And inside the handbook on page 6 states that we give a 5-minute leeway that you can clock in 5 minutes before your scheduled time, up to 5 minutes after, without any penalty. Okay, so we give you that 5-minute leeway because we know things happen, right? Traffic, or you get a flat tire or whatever. And if you're going to be late, longer than that for some circumstance that you didn't know about, we ask that you call and, speak to one of the managers, not one of the employees. So you remember signing it? Great. You remember reading that section? Okay, awesome. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we're clear, because it's important that you understand. And it's also important, to the other staff members, because it's not fair. So you were late again today. 15 minutes late, and that's outside of that 5-minute leeway that we give to everyone to clock in before or after their shift. So that is a violation of the established policy that we have for all the staff. So we have this, and we have the employee handbook, so everybody is held to the exact same standard. That way it's fair for everyone. So what I want to know is, is there something, ongoing in your life that you need help with? Or, is it just your alarm clock's not going off? Or, what's the problem? How can I help you? Because I really need you to be here on time, within that 5-minute leeway either way to clock in, because it's important for the operations of the restaurant. It's important for you to be here on time for the lineup before your shift, the pre-shift meeting, so you understand, the specials and what's going on. So it's super important. So can you tell me what's going on, and, how can I help you overcome that so we can get you here on time for your shift? So obviously you listen and, find out what the real heart of the problem is, why they can't get to work on time. Okay, great. So it's an issue with your automobile, right? You have, trouble getting your car started, and, maybe it's your battery. I don't know. I'm not an auto mechanic, right? I don't claim to be. So what we can do is maybe you just need to leave a little bit earlier, okay? Or you need to take your car in, and I tell you what, I got a great mechanic that works on my cars that I've been friends with. Why don't you take, your car over, and I'll give him a call, let him know you're coming. I'm sure if you need something, you get a really good deal on it. Or talk to one of the other staff members, and because we really need to get this fixed because it's important. So we do have a 3-strike rule here at the restaurant, and I want to make sure that you understand, what's going on, and we're both on the same page. So it is a 3-strike written violation policy. After that, those 3 strikes that are written, and you'll get a copy, and I have a copy, and it'll go in your file, that you are terminated after the end of that, 3rd strike. So I filled this out, and we put, that this is, your 5th time being late, but we didn't write you up for those first 4 times. So this is your first violation. And if you could sign it, I signed it. If you sign it, and it's just a formality, and we'll put that on your file. And let me know how I can help you, make sure that you're here on time. Because again, it's super important, and I want you to be successful. So if you could sign that for me, I'd be greatly appreciated. And let's get this taken care of. So they'll sign it, and it'll go into the file. And typically, you shake hands and they leave, and hopefully, they fix the problem. But now you have it in writing, and they acknowledged it mentally because it's in writing, and also it expresses the severity of what they're doing. So they get it, right? It's not like, hey, you're late again. What the F's your problem, man? You got to be here on time. You missed lineup. That's BS. It's not fair to everybody. No, you got to bring them into the office. You got to make sure that they clearly understand what the violation is. You have to show them that it's a violation of the policy. That's why you need to have it written in the employee handbook. And then you have to have them sign something that states, typically it's a policy violation statement. I mean, you can go on Google and get any of them, or, come up with something, on your own specifically. But have them sign something, and that way you have a copy of it and give them a copy of it, so they get it, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, if I do this 2 more times, I'm going to be out of the stream, I'm going to be canned. That's how you get employees to actually, manage themselves, because they understand that 3rd time, it's like, why haven't you come to the office? I know you're going to can me, right? Because they get it. And the big part is, clear communication, but you show empathy, and you're like, hey, how can I help you fix this problem? Because it's affecting your performance. You're not here on time for the pre-shift meeting, and it doesn't look good to the other staff. So they understand from your standpoint, your point of view, what they're doing isn't helping your business, and it's hurting the other staff members. Clear communication, empathy. How can I help you solve this problem? Make sure you get something written and make sure they understand this happens 2 more times, you will be terminated. That's how you deal with policy issues. You need to have a system, 3-strike rule, because everybody knows that it's easy for them to remember. And make sure you're empathetic and offer help to fix whatever their violation is for your policy. If you do that, you have a much easier time managing people. Trust me. I've had over 300 employees from my restaurants and catering business. This is how you do it because it shows consistency and fairness for everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, reach out to us at dfymarketingsystems.com. Get yourself a free membership. There's all different types of stuff in there about managing employees and how to hire your next superstar. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks for listening to the DFY Restaurant Revolution podcast. Join us in the revolution by subscribing, rating, and reviewing on your favorite podcasting platform today.